Yo. You know who you rocking with, man. Happy New Year. It's cool. Steady banging y'all with a couple new videos. I was doing some research on food stamps. You know, the welfare program. Feeding families. You know, the whole nine. Like I was doing some research on that, right? And I would encourage a lot of people, before you apply for food stamps, to do some research on it, get some understanding, get some knowledge on it, because it's a misconception with food stamps. You know what I'm saying? And if you read up on it, you will see what I'm saying. You will see like the misconception. You will see the problems it causes more than the good it causes. Okay. And I got some notes. I got some notes down there. I'm just in the middle of getting everything together real quick. But yeah, they got okay, it was basically founded to help widow women, women that had been married, husband died. So the government was gonna step in. The federal government, let's understand that part. The federal government was gonna step in and help widow women that couldn't feed their families. You know what I'm saying? Because back in these days, women didn't work like men did. I ain't gonna say no women didn't work like that, but women wasn't, you know what I'm saying, considered to be head of households and bringing in the money. They most likely dealt with the kids and the responsibilities of the house. So the federal government was gonna step in and help the widow mothers, that had lost a husband. Now, just like every other business in America, in the world, it always wants to grow. It always wants to expand. So, in their case, in the food stamp program case, they started expanding it to, other women in other situations. Women that was divorced from their husband. Their husband's still alive, but they, divorced. Women that had kids, you know what I'm saying, in their marriage or whatever, whatnot, and, they separated from their husband, it was for divorce, and then the women that had the kids out of wedlock. Now you got to be careful with the government, you know what I'm saying? Because what they do, when they want to, use the Bible in terms from it, the government, oh yeah, they do it. You know what I'm saying? They do it. They believe in the Bible then. You feel me? It ain't about a profit then. It's still about a profit, but okay, they can use, we gonna use wedlock situations. Like y'all was fucking, y'all had a baby, y'all weren't married. Boom, boom, boom. So we're gonna put them females too under our wing, because in that graph of people, that's more of blacks than it is any other race. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, they expanded the business to take in other women with other situations that they could provide for. Now, I'm telling you to research this type of stuff, right? Because, with some of the things I read today, it covers a lot of ground about, the scams, the schemes, the bullshit, the lies, the shit that they tell you, man, and they expect you to believe it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so they expanded their business to basically, you know, be able to accommodate them other women that, you know, had situations, wedlock, divorced, you know, shit like that. A lot of women didn't know how to take care of themselves because, like I say, back in them times, the men did that shit. So, okay. So they went from just doing food to doing housing and to doing, you know, other programs. You know what I'm saying? And like it's you gotta pay attention to the wording that they use when you read it. Especially I use Google, and you gotta pay attention to the wording, because in the wording somewhere I was reading, probably like in the second to third paragraph, it explains to you that they seen that, you know, or they reasoning for not letting the guys or the fathers be on it. They claim they didn't have enough resources and funding to cover the mom, the kids, and the father. You know what I'm saying? So in the housing situation, the father couldn't be there. So it affected whites, it affected Hispanics, it affected other races, but it really affected the blacks. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, cause that was the majority of the people that was needing this assistance. Cause they also tell you some bullshit enough, which is a red flag. You gotta pay attention to the wording. In the 80s and the 90s, they don't know where the big flush came in. Like, everybody gotta, you know what I'm saying? Or everybody won't just started being on goddamn welfare and food stamps in the 80s, but they don't know why. That's what they tell you in the what's it called, in the report, right? They don't know why, you know what I'm saying? But that's a lie, because if you talk to a lot of blacks, right? Probably some Hispanics too, you know what I'm saying? When you talk to a lot of them, you know, in the 80s, in the 90s, late 70s, 80s, 90s, it was hard for blacks to find work. You know what I'm saying? And if you were, you know, you was the last hired, first fired, laid off, and, you know, they didn't want to hire blacks. So now you got the drug situation going on, because they say in the late 70s, 80s, and 90s, drugs in the black communities was going rapid. You got that going on. In 61, Kennedy founded the food stamp program. Somewhere down the line, Ronald Reagan canceled that shit, because he knew that shit was going to bring starvation through low-income communities. Now, they said that food stamps was brought about, put in place, excuse me, to change poverty in the low-income community, the low-income community. The food stamp program was supposed to take away or change that poverty situation. That's a damn lie. You know what I'm saying? That's a damn lie, because it's no way, you know, by you just giving me a monthly balance of money to go shop with, really gonna change my situation far as being low income or in poverty. Because that food eventually gonna go bad, or I'm gonna eat the shit up and I'm gonna be hungry again. So that was, see, you gotta watch what people say. You gotta watch what you read when it comes to this shit, because it doesn't make sense, right? If that was really the case, You know what I'm saying? If they was really gonna, okay, try to change the poverty and change the low income community, you know, it's other ways they could have went about doing that. They could have put you in farming type programs. You know what I'm saying? In school, you know, they should teach you how to farm. Fuck all that, all them other subjects, some of that shit, okay, but they should teach you how to farm. They should teach you how to survive. You know what I'm saying? Provisions off the land, you know, but they don't want to do that. They want you to need them, so you won't ever know how to really do anything without them. You know what I'm saying? Is why they built that type of system. You know what I mean? I don't mean to get off subject, but real quick, another way you can look at it is, you know, I don't want to use the word slaves, and I think as colored black folks, we should try to do away with that word here in the future and just put survivors. Yeah, just we gotta stop agreeing and calling ourselves slaves. You know what I mean? We ain't gotta call ourselves slaves because the white people called us slaves. Yeah, we were slaves or whatever, and the truth hurts. That shit really hurts to think about it, and hurt to see what them people went through. So I think we should change that word to survivals, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean, survivals of, yeah, the BS, you know what I'm saying? We survivors, we're not slaves, survivors. So, you know, with that being said, the survivors of the depression times in our struggle, that, you know, the worst of the worst, you know what I mean? We didn't live in mansions. They didn't live in mansions. They wasn't shopping at the white people market like they masters was, or they owners, or, you know, they overseers or whatever. That's what I would say. They wasn't masters, they was overseers, you know. Yeah, they wasn't yeah, they wasn't living the fancy life. They wasn't living, you know, top of the line. You know, they was taking scraps, having to survive. They was, you know, turning the land. They was surviving off the land. They was doing all of that shit. You know what I mean? Farming, whatever they could do to basically survive, right? So what the white people did, in a sense, what the government did, in a sense, was, you know, they gonna enable you. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna leave these blacks on this land to learn how to crop, grow, and survive and not need us. We're gonna put their ass in the city limits, stack them on top of each other, and don't give them no job. It's gonna create welfare. We're gonna call it welfare. And real shit, since we already know they you know what I mean, they ain't really got much, you know what I'm saying, and they eat bullshit food anyways, pork and all of that right there. But you know what I'm saying, we gonna get their ass food stamps. We gonna give them a certain amount of money a month, and yeah, you know what I'm saying, a project, an experiment. They can do what the fuck they want to do with you. You know what I mean? That's what it boiled down to. And I ain't really mean to get off subject. I wanted to kind of give you a picture of, you know, they made it to where you gotta depend on them. You know what I'm saying? And I done received food stamps before. I ain't gonna say I haven't, you feel me? And I'll tell you why I got the food stamps. It was more of it was kind of encouraged on me to do it from, you know, my family, from you know, hey, well, you better get them food stamps. They giving away food stamps. You better get them $200 a month. That shit'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? Right? But not understanding, you know, not really understanding that, you know, that's really not the thing to do or the way to go. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this is just part one, man. Like, you know, I'm gonna hit y'all with another video a little bit. You know, I'm gonna be able to, really talk to y'all. You know, they say, you know, everything you do in America, if you agree with this, hit the like button, right? Everything you do in America affects your credit, right? Everything, bro. It ain't one thing you can't do in America that don't affect your credit. But they say, you know, with confidence, being on food stamps will never, ever, ever affect your credit score. Now that's already that right there is a red flag. And I don't even really know why, but that shit is a red flag. Everything you do in America affects your goddamn credit. If you get a cell phone, that affects your credit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything affects your credit, bro. So, you know what I mean, like, getting food stamps though, nah, hell no. It ain't no penalty. So they say it ain't no penalty. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no penalty. And this is one of the last thoughts I'm gonna leave y'all with right here, right? Before I hit y'all with the part 2 video, because I want to hear what y'all got to say about the shit. I want to see if people go research it by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, this shit crazy. All right. If you go to Google, right, and you say, you put in Google, how many food stamps recipients, you know, I don't know what I'm saying the word right, recipients are in your state, you know what I mean, no matter where you from. I'm Florida, so, you know, no matter where you at, whatever, you know, you do your state. How many recipients are in that state, right? Then you go back, if it don't already show you, ask how many recipients redeem food stamps in your state. All right. Now, I don't know how exactly they get these calculations. I don't know if they do it yearly, every so many years. You know, I don't know exactly how it goes, right? But I know that my state, which is Florida, the recipients here redeem over like $6 billion in food stamps. You know, that was just Florida. Louisiana doubled that. You know what I mean? And I ain't knocking they state or nothing, but I'm just saying it doubled that. And you know, the thing is, $600 billion, right? Just in food stamps. I mean, there's so much more that can be done with that money. That's only one state. I don't know how we broke. I don't know how it's a deficit, you know, with the money, if, you know, that much money is being funded to feed America, right? Or you know, to feed one state. So did a little bit more research, and you got a lot of states, right? All of them got their own numbers. If you add all them fucking numbers up, the 6 billion in Florida, the 12 billion in Louisiana, and then Mississippi up there in the billions, a couple more states in the billions, bitch, that's trillions of dollars. That's trillions of dollars. Like, you can't even calculate that shit. That's how you know they really, really soon gonna have, it ain't gonna be no money. It ain't gonna be no paper federal notes no more. Cause they gonna just be able to just dial up numbers. I heard the House Common Sense say this the other day. Everybody got unlimited credit. And this man was absolutely right. Cause it ain't no way for them, like, they make money. they decide what money is, because they decide to count it as currency or to give retailers the promise that what, you know, the customers are giving them, you know, it has value or it's going to be covered by their monetary system. So when you look at it, I mean, it's a scam, bro. I mean, it's fucked up. It's no way. It's no way. Florida alone, $6 billion in food stamps. I don't understand that shit. I don't understand the deals they might have in place with the stores, you know, to accept that shit, and how that shit rolls around as paid currency. Like, because they basically paying their damn self. You know, that's basically what they're doing. That's basically what they're doing. They paying their damn self. I thought the police pulled up on me, but it wasn't. I'm out here anyway. But yeah. I had to just get that thought out real quick. I was finna go in the store without saying, but yeah, man, that's basically, you know, like they creating money on their own, man. 600 billion in just food stamps here. Like I say, other states double that. They creating that shit on their own, man. They just creating money, saying it's money. It's just unlimited fucking credit for whatever they feel the discrepancy should be. Yeah. That shit don't make sense, right? Now, if you turn around, and I'm finna get off here. I know I've been on about 20 minutes. So, if you turn around, right, and ask Google, about, you know, who fund the food stamp program, right? Google is gonna tell you the federal government in big bold black letters, right? It's gonna tell you that, right? The federal government completely takes full responsibility and fully covers all the money that's involved with food stamps, right? Okay, now you go back and you ask them, you know, do taxpayers, you know, because I'm yet to know what the fuck a taxpayer is, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't being stupid with it. I mean, I know basically everybody pay taxes, but I really need to know what a taxpayer is, right? So I'm gonna look that up too. Yeah. If you ask them, do taxpayers pay for food stamps? They're gonna tell you this. They're gonna tell you they just, it's like, I don't know why the word just is in front of that, but they just say they just pay $10 for, shit, what was the first one? I think $10 was for the housing. Another so many dollars was for the heating and, you know, other shit like that. And I think it was something else in there too. Could be the social, or, you know, it could have been something in that nature. And then the last thing was $78 for food. So I'm trying to. I say I need to know who and what are taxpayers. And if the government fully funds, you know, if the government fully funds, federal government, now I told y'all earlier, remember that, the federal government, he said the federal government fully funds the food stamp program. So why are the taxpayers paying over $100 and something in their taxes for the food stamp program? Are we the government? Are we the federal government? Which I know we are, but they done flipped the script with the power. You know what I mean? And if people unite, we could change it, but people really don't care because they program to, you know, some program to wait on food stamps. Some program to get up, go get it. Just it's the way of life. You just make money, you do what you gotta do for your family. Whatever. You know? So, you know what I'm saying? It's a you know, either way you look at it, it's a catch-22. It's a big catch-22. So, you know, there was just a couple of facts, man. You know, oh, that shit, how I think about it. You know, what I see it. You know, no, I say this part one, because I'm gonna really go off my notes with the other video. This one right here, I was just, you know, going with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Just talking to you, you know, you know, I ain't been on here in a while like that, so I was just vibing with y'all. But all in all, man, you know, food stamps ain't that good for the future of the people. If we got enough money to give 600 billion in motherfucking food stamps, we could create programs that help people depend on themselves and grow their own food. You know what I'm saying? And I know that shit sound old-fashioned back in the day. Not nothing you gonna have patience for, but you gotta understand one thing. You know, that's what you came from. That's what people came from. That's a natural instinct. That's a natural, you know, way of living to provide for yourself, you know, and do what you gotta do for your family. You feel me? That's natural, bro. That's not, you know what I mean? That's you know what I mean? That's natural. But yeah, man, you rockin' with Coon. I'm gonna get with y'all, man. Wow.